Hello guys, welcome to NXPTO new video. And in this video, I'm gonna give you an update to the price of Bitcoin. So we another Bitcoin fantastic weekly candle close, which means like we were predicting, Bitcoin was able to break the middle of this downward channel and push all the way to the top, and is currently holding this level as resistance. So this weekly candle close is going to determine whether we're gonna enter or we're gonna finally enter the acceleration process, which means with this current week pushing and breaking the top of this downward channel to the upside and hold it as support and continue the journey toward our 110,000 and this massive the middle of this massive upward channel that Bitcoin is currently traveling inside. So the DXY, as you can see, is still closing weekly candle below the 50-week moving average and below its own upward channel. So this is bullish, and we just had a confirmation. So with the DXY in such a weak position, this is giving Bitcoin the strength to try to break the top of this downward channel and potentially continue the journey towards our 110,000. So what we want to happen in the next few weeks, the DXY to transition from silver to red on the super gap indicator. So having DXY on such a low position, we know that there's a possibility for this transition to finally happen. And if this happens, we're gonna be officially entering on the acceleration process, which means silver to red means we're gonna be able to break the top of this downward channel to the upside, break the middle of this upward channel, and break the 110 to the upside, which leaves us with 174,000, 250,000, and potentially, like you guys can see, if we continue to move upward for the next from June onward, there's a chance for us to tap into the $250,000 and most likely 382,000. So of course we don't want to jump into conclusion, but this is what could happen if we actually switch, if the DXY switch from silver to red. So very positive weekly candle close. The DXY Bitcoin ratio, the ratio is quite far away from the 50-week moving average like we were predicting. So it's just waiting for confirmation. This confirmation will come when the RSI finally break the top of this downward trend line to the downside, which means the RSI returning below this downward trend line is a confirmation that Bitcoin will be able to continue to push upward, which means going to be able to break the top of this downward channel and most likely project to 110,000 level. So far so good. We're gonna have to wait for this week and see if this RSI can go below this trend line. And the fear and greed index, we can see that we are currently neutral, but we were able to actually tap into the greed mode for a few days, and we can see that the sentiment was able to break the resistance 49 value resistance, which is neutral. As you can see, with Bitcoin being able to break the middle of this downward channel, gave the sentiment the possibility to break this resistance to the upside. It went all the way to the grid mode on 72 and is currently finding support around this level. So finding support around this level would most likely allow the sentiment to continue to push toward the extreme grid or above everything or anything below the 74, above the 74 value would put Bitcoin on extreme grid, which we already know that would help fuel this push to the upside. So that's the update for today. What we need to look for this week is for Bitcoin to actually, at least if Bitcoin is going to retest the middle of this downward channel, it shouldn't be breaking below it again. What could happen is like a retest and then push to the upside, worst case scenario. But with the DXY below this level, we don't see Bitcoin having major correction from here. And if it happens, it should be all the middle of this downward channel. Otherwise, it could just push and break the top of this downward channel to the upside and continue to push higher. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and sharing this video with your friend and family. And I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.